Greetings, YouTube. This is another episode of TEW 2016 WWE Red vs. Blue. We're episode 10, week 2, Monday of August 2016 for Monday Night Raw. And the show is being held in front of 10,566 people at the Taco Bell Arena in Idaho. The show starts off with the announce table, Michael Cole, JBL, Byron Saxton hyping up the show tonight, in which will feature the final two first round matches of the Universal title tournament, with the Big Show taking on Braun Strowman and Cesaro taking on the WWE United States Champion Rusev. Also, in our main event match is going to be a tag team match featuring Bully Ray and Sheamus teaming up to take on John Cena and Finn Balor, who made his debut last week in a successful victory over Bully Ray in one of the first round matches of the Universal Championship Tournament. The segment got a 63C rating, no worker improvements. And we move right on to the first round matchup between Braun Strowman and the Big Show. And a decent match, Braun Strowman drew with the Big Show in 9:39 following a double countout. Basically, what you imagine it as being, two big hosses duking it out, and it got so chaotic, both of them got counted out. So, I mean, not much to it. And they are both eliminated from the Universal Championship Tournament, which means that Finn Balor would automatically have a bye into the finals. Braun Strowman has an in-ring performance of 43, the Big Show 69. The match got a 58 C minus rating. So yeah, I didn't want to put Big Show over Strowman since I want to build up Strowman. At the same time, I don't think, I really want to put Strowman over the Big Show, nor do I want him to be Universal Champion because his momentum and overness is still really low, and I want to build him up some more. So this is a way to get Braun out of the tournament without, having him do a clean job, nor put him over the Big Show this early. So that match did its job. Next segment, backstage interview. Renee Young is backstage with Charlotte. And they're hyping up the upcoming number 1 contenders match for the Women's Championship between Natalya, Emma, and Becky Lynch, with the winner will face Charlotte for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. And Charlotte basically says, it doesn't matter who wins because at the end of the day, at SummerSlam, whoever wins is going to bow down to the Queen. The segment got a 49D plus rating, no worker improvements. And the next match, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Becky Lynch defeated Natalya and Emma in 10:17 when Becky Lynch defeated Emma by submission with a Disarm Her. Natalya had an in-ring performance of 48, Emma 48, Becky Lynch 57. Emma is improving in both Rumble and technical skills, and the match got a 56C minus rating. So yeah, Becky Lynch has an opportunity at SummerSlam to win the Women's Championship in a one-on-one match. Next segment, it was a satellite interview with Paul Heyman, where he talks about Brock Lesnar's upcoming match at SummerSlam against Sami Zayn. And Paul Heyman just reiterates about how, Brock isn't trying to take the easy way out, and he sees something in Sami Zayn, and he wants to test Sami Zayn He wants to test his will, his heart, his desire, and to see how many times Sami Zayn's heart can withstand Suplex City. No worker improvements. The segment got a 67C plus rating. It's just basic standard, Paul Heyman hype promo. Because Brock isn't there, and it's a Raw versus SmackDown match, so neither person is going to be on the other show, really. So it did its job. Moving on, in a decent match, Cesaro defeated the United States Champion Rusev in a non-title first round match of the Universal Championship tournament by pinfall in 5:13 with a neutralizer. Cesaro had an in-ring performance of 66, Rusev 69. No working improvements. The match got a 73 B- rating. So yeah, pretty good match, and Cesaro moves on to the semifinals of the Universal Championship tournament next week against John Cena. Moving right along, another backstage interview. Renee Young is backstage with Seth Rollins. And a basic promo. Renee talks about what happened last week with Seth Rollins challenging the 5-man group, collectively known as the Forgotten, to a 3-on-3 match at SummerSlam with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns as his partners. And she brings up their reaction this past Tuesday on SmackDown, where they weren't too happy that he basically volunteered a match for them, and they basically don't trust Seth, and can you really blame them? And Seth is like, well, I can't say I blame them, but at the same time, we gotta look at the greater picture. They ruined our match. They ruined, to see who the better member of the Shield was. And I think, it's time for some retribution. And even if this is one time only, I think what better way to get back at them than have the Shield reunion. And yeah, I can definitely understand, Ambrose and Reigns, they don't trust me, but hopefully they will see that this is what it needs to be for the time being. So yeah, 60 plus rating. Next segment, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Jack Swagger defeated Eric Rowan in 8:03 by pinfall with a surprise cradle. Swagger had an in-ring performance of 53, Rowan 45. No worker improvements. The match got a 52D plus rating. So yeah, just basically a filler match. I don't really have anything planned for either one right now, but I had a little time to spare on the show, and I figured, Swagger could use the win. I mean, he's not a bad guy to have in the mid card, and there's like 15 million monsters on the WWE roster. Rowan kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and I think he could stand to, lose this one to Swagger. It's not going to hurt him any bit, and I'm not going to, be pushing him hard anytime soon, so he can take the loss. Moving along. And a bout that subpar wrestling Little Heat, Curtis Axel defeated Darren Young in 8:30 by pinfall with an axe hole. Darren Young had an in-ring performance of 40, Curtis Axel 51. No worker improvements. Match got a 51D plus rating. So yeah, just another filler match. Not really going to do anything major with any one of these guys, especially Darren Young. I think he's good to have as, a guy that puts over the other talent. I think Curtis Axel could be, a decent lower mid-card guy. So I think Curtis deserved the win here. Moving along. And a backstage segment with Christian and Stephanie McMahon. As Stephanie McMahon announces that due to the double countout earlier in the show between Braun Strowman and The Big Show, Finn Balor is left without an opponent next week in the semifinals of the Universal Championship Tournament. And because of that, he basically has a free pass to the finals, and they don't think it's fair. And they want to give him some competition. So next week there's going to be a last chance battle royal with Braun Strowman, The Big Show, Sheamus, Rusev, and Bully Ray, with the winner going on to face Finn Balor later that night in the semifinals of the Universal Championship Tournament. So yeah, those guys will get one more chance, and the winner will face Finn Balor, and the winner of that will go on to SummerSlam to compete for the Universal title. No work improvements. That segment got a 68C plus rating. And moving right along, this is kind of a combination of the prior segment. Christian invites a bunch of the tag team guys in the locker room, and he announces, he was a tag team guy for a lot of his career, and he knows how important the tag teams are in the WWE, and he wants to make it a focal point of Monday Night Raw. And although the New Day is on SmackDown with the Tag Team Championship, he feels it's only fair that Monday Night Raw has a Tag Team Championship of their own. So, at SummerSlam, there's going to be a match to crown a new Raw Tag Team Champions. So, the Vaudevillains, Breezango, and the Lucha Dragons will be among the teams in this tournament, with more to be announced next week. So, truth be told, I'm not exactly how I'm going to do this tournament. It might be a quick tournament 1 week to set up the finals at SummerSlam. It could just be a multi-team match at SummerSlam. I'm not exactly sure as of yet. But the segment got a 62C rating, no work or improvements. Well, I also just noticed that I accidentally selected Finn Balor to be in the segment instead of Fandango. But it is what it is. Next segment. In a decent match, Finn Balor and John Cena defeated Bully Ray and Sheamus in 1958, when Finn Balor defeated Bully Ray by pinfall with a coup de grace. In terms of in-ring work, John Cena was head and shoulders above everyone else. Sheamus had an in-ring performance of 74, Bully Ray 58, John Cena 84, and Finn Balor 55. Finn Balor is improving in performance skills, and the match got a 74 B- rating. So yeah, just a match to kind of build up Finn Balor and, give him the rub of teaming up with Cena. Next segment is a backstage promo with the Forgotten, basically bragging about how they showed up on SmackDown. They walked right through the front door and, took care of Ambrose and Reigns. And it's just going to be a small sample of what the Shield will face at SummerSlam. And they are actually about to compete in the ring for the first time in a tag team match. And They're going to show why they're going to defeat the Shield. They're going to show teamwork. There's going to be no egos. There's going to be no tension. No one has to worry about stabbing each other in the back because they're all a collective group with one single objective. That's to, take what's theirs and to take the top spots in the WWE. No work improvements, got a 67C plus rating. In a main event match, in a poor match, Zack Ryder and Neville defeated Damien Sandow and Bad News Barrett in 12:28, when Neville defeated Damien Sandow by pinfall with a handful of tights. During the match, we also had Seth Rollins distract Sandow. So ignore the handful of tights. So basically, Seth did come out and distract Sandow, and which allowed Neville to do a schoolboy pin on Sandow to get the quick pinfall. It's not. I figured the match wasn't going to do great because they're basically all mid-carders. But this was more story than to try to have a great match. Sandow and Barrett didn't work well as a team. Their timing is all over the place, which kind of sucks. Barrett had an in-ring performance of 51, Sandow 48, Neville 53, Ryder 44. Bad News Barrett is improving in Rumble skills. The match got a 52D plus rating. And the show ends with Seth Rollins escaping the wrath of the Forgotten as Cody, Ryback, and McIntyre stormed out from the back to try to get Seth, who was at ringside, but he escapes through the crowd and he taunts them from the crowd as we go off the air. The segment got a 73B minus rating. No work or improvements. And we end the show with a 58C minus rating. A pretty awful show. I used Finn Balor far too much on the show. I think I probably would have gotten that if I had, paid attention to that tag team backstage segment where I selected him instead of Fandango. But it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. As I've said before, it's all about building up people and building up storylines and all that. The show ratings, not too worried about it. I think this is more of a oddball rating. Hopefully, I'm not going to see these too much, but every now and then I'm going to worry too much about it. I mean, hey, look at real life WWE. Like, how many Raws do people say absolutely suck, but here they are. They just got $1 billion TV deal. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But other than that, I do want to update you. I informed you on the last episode on SmackDown that before the main event taping, before SmackDown, Jimmy Uso dislocated his ankle. Kind of find out he's going to be out injured for about a month, so he's going to miss SummerSlam. So obviously Jay isn't going to be around for the next month either. Not too terribly upset about it. I mean, I wasn't going to have much plans for the Usos at the moment. Tentatively, I was going to have them face Sandow and Barrett in a tag team match on the pre-show at SummerSlam, but obviously now I'm going to have to find another plan for Barrett and Sandow, because more than likely it's going to be Ryback, Cody, and McIntyre representing their faction against the Shield at SummerSlam, because those three guys are the guys that I have more plans with to be near the top of the card long term. Not to say that Barrett and Sandow won't at any point, but the other three, I've got more plans for them as top level guys. So that does it about for the show. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, comment, you know. So until then, take care. Peace.